everybody, it's Annie HCG. This is my first vlog, and I have to say, slightly intimidated by all of this. And topics I'm going to talk about today are P3, the joys, horrors, pain, and suffering, and elation of P3, and what it's like to, as Nora Ephron says, feel bad about my neck. I feel bad about my neck. Because when you've lost 68 pounds and you've gone from 260 some pounds down to 197, you do the math. I guess I was 265. Oy. This gets left over. So, I thought it was looking a little bit better, but now that I'm watching it on video, I'm not quite sure. And oh, my vanity is coming forward. I was never vain before because I just looked like crap, so who really cared? But now I look only semi-crappy, and at 54 years old, I feel bad about my neck. Nora Ephron was probably, I don't know, 64 when she wrote it, but I'm doing it at 54. Which also says why I didn't get enough sleep last night, because I woke up this morning to an infomercial about a lifestyle lift where they make people's chins look better. I love that. I really have to check that out. Some advice for folks on P3. I would love to give you advice like I'm the wisdom mother of all P3 mothers, but I struggle with it as much as everybody else does. It is a challenge every morning to have no idea what the freaking scale is going to say. And if I eat 1,200 calories or 2,200 calories, I have been clean from carbs and sugar, starches and sugars, as instructed by Dr. Simeons, and I do follow his protocol. But regardless of cleanliness of eating and intent, you still never know. I don't know from one day to the next what the scale is going to say. So it's always kind of a surprise. It's a thrill. It's a scary moment. I have done now 3 rounds. This is my third P3. I'm sure that I have this figured out. And it is actually going very well. But it just feels like a struggle from start to finish. So, I hope that you all who are struggling with it can take some time to stand back and really look at your what you're taking in. I think the people who are having the biggest trouble are people who are not eating enough protein. It's very clear in Dr. Simeon's advice that he says you have to eat enough protein. I have always made that a cornerstone of what I've been trying to do. And sometimes I will rely on salty protein, and I can tell at night my rings get tight. And today I did not have salty protein, and my rings are loose and they're kind of fun. I mean, they actually, fit like, woo! Isn't that cool? So I really think that salt has a lot to do with how the scale reads one day to the next. The 2 pounds plus or minus, and rush right out and do a steak day he's so adamant about that in the protocol that I think that we all might get a little too freaked out by it. A steak day is not easy for some people. It's very easy for me. I have no problem just drinking coffee and water all day and then having a, pound and a half of strip steak at night. And that's good for 2.5 pound loss. I've only had to do one so far. I'm on day, 15, 16, 17, somewhere in there, P3. And I did have to do one steak day after I, in order to be polite, ate a half a matzo ball and some Thousand Island dressing, which was homemade, but I'm sure had sugar in it. And I think I also had panko breaded fish sauteed that night that was dredged in flour and panko. And, I told them no starches, and I get matzo balls and panko. What can I tell you? It's the bloop in my P3. But I've done P3 successfully in the past without really having a firm map for where I'm going. And this time I feel like I'm flying blind, just like everybody else is. But I love what HCG has done for me. I love what it is doing for all of you that I see on Facebook and the vlogs that I see. I feel deeply, I feel the pain of folks who are gaining on P3 without answers. And I just think you have to keep experimenting. You have to get enough protein, good protein. And I would say good protein includes, get some salmon in there with some good fats in it. Maybe get some flax oil and flax seed ground up into your chilies and things. It's never going to be a straight rule for everybody. I think that's one of the things about this diet that's a little freaky, is that it isn't the same for everybody. Most people do the protocol with their own way of doing it. Some would call that cheating. Others would say, I follow my own protocol. And I have followed Simeon's protocol pretty faithfully. I do occasionally throw some onions in beyond a tablespoon when I'm cooking fennel. Ooh, that's my big excitement. But I've been pretty true to it. And I am now backing off from my uber paranoia that came along from reading the blood type diet that said, as a type O, strawberries, cabbage, vinegar, all vinegar, not just apple cider vinegar, all vinegar, balsamic, wine vinegar, all vinegar, bad. Cabbage, bad. Strawberries, bad. Oranges, bad. Good Lord. I lost 68 pounds eating that. So if type O's are not supposed to eat it, I don't know, jump off a bridge. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to stress about it. I'm just not going to pay attention to it anymore. But what I am going to pay attention to now is American Idol. And it's in the queue right now in my DVR. And I suppose I'm going to have to stay up tomorrow night for the royal wedding, as my neighbors don't have television and they seem desperately to want to come to my place at 1 in the morning Pacific time and watch this spectacle over there. So, all the more power to people who wear tiaras. I've never worn a tiara. There's a first time for everything. Maybe this summer sometime I'll get myself a 70 pounds lost HCG tiara. Thanks, everybody, and I hope this blog was at least a commiseration for you, if not instructional. It's just my thoughts on what's happening. HCG, Annie HCG signing off.